two. 1, 2, 3. I am a guy from a place, Strom City, Bipper, the Vandal. Marquise is the name my mama gave me. I am grateful for everybody who watches this, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, has just invested time, attention to this thing that I've been doing. Got an opportunity to start this in January. It is almost the end of the year, and a lot has transpired since I began this thing in my uncle's house. I say it a lot because it's really funny to me as a concept. I started just talking in my uncle's house, reflecting on my life at the time. I was teaching at a charter school in Baltimore. I was just starting my yoga practice. Not even starting my yoga practice as in like I'm learning yoga. I was starting my yoga practice as a practitioner. I was teaching yoga classes when I started the podcast. I was going to different things in community, meeting new people, having to unpack a lot of things that I was going through at the time and just rewrite my story as I was letting go of things that were very seemingly foundational to my story. And I was in the space of having to recognize who made those things foundational, who were the people responsible for these things I was using as my definers. Like, why is this my identity? Who's responsible for this being my identity? Why do I think I like this artist so much? Why do I think I can never leave Baltimore? Why do I feel bad about wanting to leave Baltimore? Why do I look at people who leave a certain way? Like, all of these new questions that I'm starting to unpack. And this has been a way to reflect and journal those moments. So I'm in a space right now where I'm just like, wow, for real, like I'm blessed in ways that I imagined. I'm blessed in ways that I asked to be blessed. And I can only give praise. I can only give gratitude and appreciation to the community that shows up to me, shows up for me, for the people that have remained in my life through the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, through the good, the bad, the indifferent. And I just am sitting into the just beauty of this year. Very intentional year, very progressive year. I got people that are having the wins that they spoke about having. I'm having the wins I told them I was looking to have. It's just so magical, and I'm very general in speaking about this because I don't want to share anybody's business more than they would be comfortable with. But I'm generally speaking about my own as well because I recognize that this space isn't always the best space to share specifics, right? Everybody isn't having the best intention for you. And when we're open, right, we have the opportunity to gift people our testimony, right? When I'm sharing the things I've gone through, whether it be being declared a certain mental illness, when I'm sharing the ideations I that had me believing I wasn't deserving to live, when I'm sharing some of the anxieties that I've dealt with, some people had taken those things to be, oh, he's not fit to do certain things, and it was unfortunate because they allowed their judgments to shorten my capability. And it was very strange because these were people who knew the words, they knew the vocabulary, they spoke well enough to seem as if they would actually give grace and that they were actually doing the work, but they revealed themselves. And it is what it is. Ultimately, that's my favorite term of the year. My aunt gave me that, and I wear that well. It is what it is. Don't let it be more than it gotta be. But yeah, a lot of things have been revealed. I've been watching a lot of different content creators, and being a yoga instructor. Some of them have their truth about Christianity. They have their truth about what their life has been up until this point. So I don't deny it, but I laugh at like some of the talks about revelations, right? Like we're in a time where a lot is being revealed. People who were at the top of the world, quote unquote, are now being brought to the bottom. They're being brought to light in a way that is shocking people and also just confirming what some people already believed. And I just watch it with a very neutral mindset. I look at it as an opportunity for people who are doing the work and who have done good work to shine. And I look at it as an opportunity for people to change a lot of things that were in need of change. It is very funny to see, but there are some people who are very set on the change coming a certain type of way. And I think that's what I enjoyed the most about this year. The best way to receive change is to have no expectation for what the outcome has to be. When a change is coming, especially a new change, you don't get to say what it's going to be. Like, there was a lot of hope for TikTok to be this trend that came and went. It is very much consistent in being here with us right now. It's to the point where like there is gonna be a portion of these youth who only know TikTok as their social media reference. Like they won't even have a reason to get on Instagram. And if they are on Instagram, it's not in the capacity that I grew up on Instagram. This is their native. So to see something like that expand in the way it did, and for people to deny it was kind of funny. And then to see how people speak over what a thing has to be. This is a time where you gotta be, I don't want to say what you gotta be. I mean, correct that. I have found it to be an interesting time. I have found it to be very uncomfortable. I found it to be something that requires a lot of flexibility and understanding, not just for yourself, but for others. And it is truly, truly something to see. I mean, we got celebrity couples who we're finding things out about daily. We got celebrity moguls we're finding things out about daily. We got politicians we're finding things out about. The world is in a space that very much looks like it could end at times, and then other times it just looks like it's a major shift that you're best to stay prayed up through. We're going into, we're not even going into anymore. We're in the holiday season. And as I watch it, I recognize like it's getting dark earlier, and I look at how that impacts my mood. It's not as hot, I like the warm. I like to wear shorts and t-shirts. I don't really want to put all them clothes on all the time. And I just gotta respond accordingly. So yeah, it is very interesting. This year has floated by. I've gotten to just see so much in very short spans of time. And I'm grateful for the practices that I've committed to. I'm grateful for the consistencies I've been able to maintain in my journey. And I'm grateful for the people who show up for me. But yeah, there is something very interesting about this era of life, and I'm grateful for the age that I'm at. I'm not even 30 yet. I'll just say that I'm not even 30 yet, and it feels cool to me because I feel like I'm in the middle, and there is definitely a digital divide right now. And I say digital divide because it's a term that I got to introduce to my students when I was teaching. So I'm also just sitting into it because artificial intelligence has reached some levels that everybody isn't aware of. Um, there are large segments of the population that are not benefiting from what artificial intelligence is doing. Um, it is now a point where like a line is being drawn, and if you don't have the information, you may miss out on another wave. Like there's so many waves being started at the same time. Like that's why I think it's so cool. Like musically, we are in a space where like there's no limit. Like in everything, we're in a space where there's really no limit. The limit starts in the mind, and the limits that now exist are based on attachments to story arcs that like you can't let go of. Like I'm not gonna deny the problems in the world, but I'm also not gonna live my life as if that's all there is in the world. Like we can talk about what the problem of AI is, but then we can also sit with like how I can write up a resume with ChatGPT in less than 15 seconds. We can also sit with how like I can go to Canva right now and find templates for any design I want to come up with and fill in the blanks. Like we can deny and we can talk about like again all the problems in the world and how that isn't good for creativity, or we could just sit into it like this is here to stay. How can I use the creativity I have to make it a bigger vibe? Like I laugh when I think about sampling in music. I don't remember what it was, but somebody was talking about how they're there's the struggle to sample certain songs. Like there's songs that are very popular that could very well mesh into a newer sound, but it's hard to use them because somebody wants a big payout for it, or they just sue you for using it at all, and just whatever, right? Imagine if everybody who owned the samples just took a perspective of like they're appreciating my music and there's an opportunity for people to hear this music in a new lens rather than seeing this competition and seeing it as collaboration. Like it's of course it's easier said than done because some people really don't honor the music in a well enough way for people to feel good about their music being reused. But when I look at how things could benefit new audiences and a new generation, uh, I just think that's what gets so wild. Like when things get gate kept, when there starts to be this scarcity mindset, things get weird. Like one of my favorite hip hop songs is "Nothing But a G Thing," Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. "Nothing But a G Thing" has like a bass line from this Leon Hayward song, but is like all these different elements that are coming together from prior music and is like pan homage, but then also like taking it in another direction. And I think that's what's so dope. Like that's what innovation is. Like we start with this concept, this idea that a guy comes up with. He wants to make a tablet style phone, and it just keeps innovating into to be all these other things. Like it didn't start with TikTok in mind. It didn't start with FaceTime in mind. It didn't start with all of these different things that it's capable of doing. But here we are. And it can only go further. If we allow it to, we leave room for it to grow. And um, life just does that thing that it does. Um, but yeah, I'm very observant. Like I said, very observant, very reflective in this time of the year. Like it's dark at 4:30, like 4:40. It's dark. Like what are you doing? Like come on. Like I need a little more sun, my guy. Like come on. And then like it's cold. It's like 30 degrees. It's like 33 degrees. Like what I'm gonna do with that? Like come on. Like I'm standing outside in New Jack City around the fire, Gerald Levert singing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get in all of that right now. I just want to have that weather that we had a couple months ago. But it's the cycles, right? And I'm really just excited at times. Like I'm excited, and it just takes patience because like some of this will get strange. It can get ugly. I won't deny that. But the cool part is like it can get so beautiful and like it already is so beautiful in a lot of ways. It's just like whatever fears that have been accepted as like the shut-in point is where we're at. I started the podcast saying "Be Love, Love Baltimore." I started the podcast speaking about how much beauty is in my city, and I'm getting to the end of the year, and I've seen so much of it in person, and I still see from different people that their dedicated narrative is that like the city isn't enough and it needs more. It's like I definitely will not deny that the crime is discomforting, that some of the stories I hear about like the things going on in some of these institutions is disheartening. But I also want people to really look at the businesses that have come to the city, look at the things that the kids have the opportunity of benefiting from, and look at things that like you can benefit from because of these those facts. Like the job market is shifted where you have the opportunity to work in newer industries. You have space to start initiatives that you didn't used to have space to bring to Baltimore. I went to a spot called Hopscotch. A brother that has a non-alcoholic beverage space and is like um, different flavored drinks with like a carbonated vibe that gives it the illusion of beer, gives it the illusion of Moscato, whatever liquor it may be. I think there was like a fake Hennessy, like not fake Hennessy, but like non-alcoholic like Scotch. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can go in this space. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like this is in Baltimore. Like it's in my city. It's vegan restaurants that popped up that like I can't find nowhere else. Like shout out to the ones that I'm always shouting out, like Hugh Cafe, Addison's Kitchen, Land of Kush, Doda's Kitchen, Refocus Vegan. Like it's so much space in the city to just vibe right now. Vegan Soul Fest was this year. Like this is the second one I went to where I really like had a great time, and it was a lot that was going on because of like the audience that it attracted. But just as a concept, like this is Baltimore. Like it wasn't nothing like that. Like we got celebrities essentially on our football team now. Like the names, like people are like, oh, that's yo play for Baltimore. We got celebrities showing up in our city because of the people that have come to it. So I I always felt in my heart that like my city was beautiful and that it could be more, and I won't deny that I hated my city and that like I was very tired of it and disheartened and I wasn't always happy about it. But the truth is overall that you can't be from nowhere but where you from, and where you from ain't really the problem. Like it's never really the problem. Um, it's really just how we receive it, and I need space from it. Like I've taken the spaces that I need from certain environments and just um, my city, mostly because I know so much of it and I've had traumatic experiences in so many spaces of the city that like things just linger in my mind. Like I could be driving down the street and randomly think of a friend that's no longer here. Like, and that feels wild to me, but it's the truth. Like, and no amount of work that I'm doing presently is like helping me get beyond it as much as I would like it to. So I've had to recognize like you gotta remove certain external factors to make a certain type of change you want. You gotta change your external, but it still isn't. I'm not saying that to like deny what the city has been for me, and I'm just so grateful to see people having opportunities that they didn't used to have. Like, it's musical artists that are now getting the opportunity to be the thing they've always been. And whew, I just love it. Like, I love that there's opportunities. I love that people are getting to be themselves and getting to grow and flourish. And I think that's all we really want. But, you know, things transpire how they do, you know. And some people, they live for fear. They live for scarcity. They only have power when there's nothing there, apparently. But we can all be as abundant as we need to be. I just, yeah, I said enough. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. And then, again, I'm all over the place. This is a journal for me, for sure. Because as this year is ending and going into some new cycles. I just got so much, like, so many experiences that go against the prior experiences. And I was telling that to someone, like, when you have a pattern that's been so consistent, you have to be intentional about rewriting it. And you got to put new markers in place of the thing prior. So when I was a kid, I used to drink a lot of juice and soda when I had the chance to. So to really undo that, I had to drink water intentionally in the moments where I would want soda. Like, I had to just fill in this gap. So in the moments where I'm having the urge to do something I shouldn't, where in the moments where I'm feeling immense sadness and grief, I have to input a new standard. Maybe I'm going to sketch a picture. Maybe I'm going to journal an entry to just document what I'm feeling. Maybe I'm going to watch something that takes my distraction, takes my attention off of it. Maybe I'm not going to watch something because watching things was what I used to do in that moment. And the watching it isn't benefiting me any longer. So maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I'll input a book. Maybe I'll read a new book. Like, there's so many different ways to approach our lives, and we have way more agency than we are told we do. So that has been the biggest part for me. Like, I'm grateful to be around people who make it so that people have agency over their life. I don't believe that our lives are meant to be controlled by anybody outside of ourselves. I think that there are things we do that give people the opportunity to control us. But I don't think that's true to that should be true to our experience. I think we should have the agency to pivot in whatever direction we want to go in. So I'm grateful for that. And accountability is needed. Like, you can't just uproot and not honor, like, not fix things you've destroyed, right? Or like do some type of recompense. I mean, you can help people, right? You could. The truth is, everybody won't do that either. So, like, there won't be reparations for certain things, even though I would like them, and I know that I am going to receive some. Fingers crossed. Just thinking, like, it is what it is. So, yes, I'm long-winded on this one. I started this talking about something that I no longer remember because I just went on a tangent. But if I don't say anything else after this, but I will, I just want it to be known that I'm grateful for my community. I love my city. I love my family. And I love myself. And I look forward to another year of opportunities, not just for myself, but for people in my community and the world at large. Like, just opportunities to grow, opportunities to make impact that's positive and lasting, opportunities to build new habits that you can carry consistently into the brighter future that you've asked for. All of the things. So I'll say it like this. One day made better, as many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that's unfair. The joys I've been given are best when shared. These visionaries never die. Legends survive. Through the seeds we sow daily, we get better with time. I am a guy from a place, Charm City Bipper, Keith the Vandal. Marquise is the name my mama gave me. I'm wishing you a day of peace, prosperity, and many blessings. We are built in private, blessed in public. Whether they like it or love it, we are abundant. Check out joyeducation.org. Check out the bmyi.org. Check out my social media platforms. Like, share, subscribe. Do those things that you do to keep channels alive and make sure that content creators thrive. I want to start posting about other people in this space as well. I want to do a lot, and I'm not going to say too much about what I want to do. I'm going to show up with it, but I'm thankful for all of y'all who have been committed. Get it. Bippy Charmington. I haven't really committed to that name, but I like it. It's kind of funny. Bippy Charmington. Yeah. Peace.
We were searching for the right way, did a lot of wrong. Can't go back, Gotta move on, gotta move forward. Corrections given and accept the living still brings pain. Even when you're moving with the best intentions and you're blessed with visions of joy, bliss, peace. Gratitude for every day I live to speak and I live to breathe in growth and abundance.